Hey there world, I'm the Courageous Goldfish, and today it is finally time to do the long-awaited spring merch haul thing? I haven't done one of these since January, and so basically we just got a lot to catch up on. A lot of my stuff has actually been getting delayed recently. I've got a whole bunch of prize figures from Big Bad Toy Store that are supposedly coming at the end of the month. I also had a scale figure on pre-order for April that got delayed all the way into September for some reason. So that's kind of been what's been going on in my world. But I do have some fun stuff to show you today that I've picked up the past couple of months as well. We also have a fun and fresh mystery box from Solaris Japan to open up today. First order of business is that we need to talk about the fact that I am now a bucket hat convert. I have never really put any thought into like hats as fashion statements. I'm not really into that. Like hats and sunglasses, I just don't really feel like they look good on me. However, I went to the mall a couple of months ago and I found this absolutely fantastic cinema roll strawberry print bucket hat, and I kind of just made an impulse purchase, and now I've been wearing it pretty much non-stop for the last month and a half. So welcome to the bucket hat era. These first two are things that I was waiting a really long time to be able to add to my collection, so I'm so super duper excited to finally have them. The first of which is actually finally the 10th volume of Black Butler. I've been looking for this volume everywhere. It was the one that I could not find. I had 1 through 9, I had 11 through 23, but for some reason I just could not find number 10. I actually just ended up pre-ordering it off of Indigo, and they were just gonna send me one when they got new stock. So that is what ended up happening. Finally, I have the 10th volume, which means I can move on and continue reading the series. I'm super excited. So this is volume number 10. It has Tanaka, the previous Phantom Hive Butler, the GOAT. I mean, it's a manga volume. There's really nothing else I can say about it that's interesting, aside from the fact that this is actually the first time I've ever really felt the quality of my manga volumes dip through this whole shortage thing. I do actually have a little bit of an imperfect copy, unfortunately, because my page is like off-centered and not even like, it's barely held in with the glue here. Like on the bottom here, it's loose. And then on the top as well, I don't know if you can see it very well. On the top as well, it's like basically just coming out. So I don't really know if I can fix that. That's what you get for ordering manga online, folks. But honestly, I'm not too distressed about it. I'm just excited to finally have the 10th volume so I can move on with reading the series. So far, I have actually read up to volume 16, so that's been really fun. I've been enjoying it. And the next one that has finally made its appearance in my collection. This figure got so delayed, like so delayed. It was actually insane. She came out physically in March of 2022. She was slated for shipping in June of 2022 from the site that I ordered her on, and I finally got her in March of 2023. This was made even more infuriating because I had the other half of this set, and so she was just kind of sitting by herself waiting for her friend. But finally, after many months of delay and trials and tribulations, I finally have Miss Kaguya Shinomiya Pop-Up Parade! I am so excited. Obviously, you know, like Chica's the more fan favorite, so I found her Pop-Up Parade to be more interesting. But honestly, Kaguya is actually really cute. Her face is super adorable. They nailed her eyes. The paint job is super duper crisp and clean, and just overall, it's a very well executed figure. I mean, I wish I hadn't had to wait so long to get her, but Now that I have her, she is absolutely adorable, and they look so cute next to each other that it was all worth it. Again, it is pretty difficult to mess up these Kaguya-sama girls. They're wearing very basic school uniforms that don't require a lot of shading or a lot of extra color. So, you know, there's no reason why these shouldn't be top-notch, but they are pretty top-notch. As far as Pop-Up Parade is concerned, these are some of the better ones that I've ever gotten from the line, so I'm quite pleased with these ones overall. If you're a fan of Kaguya-sama and you don't want to spend like 20,000 yen on a school uniform figure, these ones are really, really great alternatives, and I think they're really, really cute. The only potential downside that I see is that they do come on the standard hexagonal Pop-Up Parade bases. At least they are the same color though. Chika and Kaguya have the same color bases, so that's nice. But honestly, these figures are just so cute that if the bases bother you, you could just end up making a custom base, and you know, it's really not that big of a deal. But yes, I am so happy to finally have Kaguya in my collection. It's been a long time coming and she turned out great. No one is surprised, okay? No one should be surprised that the only pre-order that I actually got in April was, of course, my favorite, my eternal, my undying love, Urza Scarlet. Of course, do we even really need to talk about why I picked up this figure? We know, I'm building an Urza shrine. This was an obvious addition. I love the pop-up parades, especially because they're doing outfits that I've never gotten like figures before, because Fairy Tail, there's a lot of costume changes, and for the most part when we get Fairy Tail figures, we just get like the regular outfits and not like the fun and cool and fresh ones. So of course I had to pick up this Grand Magic Games Urza pop-up parade. I just really, really like this outfit. I think it's super fun. I also really like the contrast between the purple of the jacket and her boots versus the red of her hair. I think that's a really nice color palette for this figure. Yeah, I mean, there's really not too much to say. She's just a really solid Urza. I really like her face. Her expression is really nice. As far as paint job goes, this one isn't the best in my collection. The white striping on her jacket and on the top of her boots is kind of messy, as well as I do have a little bit of a silver splotch on her bottom belt. That's a little bit unfortunate because I do have other Urza pop-up parades that are technically flawless in the paint job, but this one is just kind of like, it's okay. It's not unacceptable, it's just not as clean as some of the other ones that I have. My only real gripe with this figure is that the seams are not like super well hidden, so you can very clearly see where they kind of like glued her body together on her legs and that kind of thing. So that I wish had been a little bit more seamless, but overall, honestly, you don't really notice it when she's sitting up with all the others, so I am quite pleased to have this one in my collection. I couldn't imagine not having it, so honestly, not too many complaints from me. I think the only thing that's really of note about this figure that you might want to know if you're thinking about picking it up is that she actually does not come on the standard hexagonal pop-up parade base. She comes on this kind of like translucent black circular situation, which honestly I kind of prefer over the hexagon, but it does bother me a little bit that they don't all match because I do have the other two Urza pop-up parades as well, and that's just kind of like chronologically it bothers me a little bit. But to be completely honest, I do actually prefer these circular bases over the hexagonal ones. I think it's just a matter of preference. Overall, is she the greatest Urza in my collection? No, but she doesn't really need to be. I still think that she's really cute for what she is, and I'm quite grateful to have her for the shrine. We got just one more thing to get through before we dive into the Mystery SOLARIS Japan box, and I am so excited to show this one off. I have been like dying over this, and it finally got a re-release, and I'm so excited to finally have it in my Proplica collection. I have the Sailor Moon Spiral Heart Moonrod Brilliant Color Edition. I have been wanting this wand for my Proplica collection for like so many years, like before I even started collecting figures. And so of course when I saw that they were doing a Brilliant Color re-release, I had to hop on that immediately. I am actually super glad that I paid it off in advance when the yen was low, because if I had to pay it off when it actually came out, I think the conversion rate would have killed me. So I definitely got lucky on that one. Ordered this one off of Nin Game, I believe. And yeah, I mean, honestly, what can I say about this wand that it doesn't say for itself? It is exactly as you would think it is. It's beautiful, it's shiny, it's huge, it's gorgeous. I have absolutely zero scratches or anything of the sort on my shiny paint, which is really, really nice. Particularly with these Proplicas, they are made by Bandai, and so, you know, you kind of have to have a little bit of a lower expectation for the quality. However, the Proplica line has been going up in quality over the years as they get better at quality control, which is really, really nice for us Sailor Moon collectors. We definitely get shafted in the way of quality when it comes to our merch, so honestly, no complaints about this whatsoever. It was exactly what I expected it to be, exactly what I wanted it to be, and it looks so nice with my other Proplicas. I am just like, this was a puzzle piece in my collection. It clicked into place and suddenly I could see the whole picture. The gem in the middle is gorgeous as always. It's kind of got this little bit of an iridescent shine to it that's really nice. Yeah, overall, I'm just so stoked to have this one in my collection. This was a must pick up for me, and so I'm really, really glad to finally have it in my hands. Of course, you guys know I am not going to leave you guys hanging. I am going to do extensive B-roll getting into the nitty-gritty of all the beautiful sounds that this wand makes. If you are not interested in hearing the sounds that this Proplica makes, here is the timestamp to skip forward to the Solaris Japan box. But if you are interested in hearing the beautiful sounds that come out of this Proplica, just keep on watching. It's time! I am so excited about this. To be completely honest with you, this one was like sort of an impulse purchase. I've been trying to really slow down and be super mindful about my purchasing recently, and so I haven't been doing a lot of impulse shopping, which has been really great for my wallet, funnily enough. But this box from Solaris Japan was one of those things. I've kind of been doing a lot of hard things recently. Hard in my own terms. And so this was kind of like a little gift to myself of like a, hey, you got through something hard, here's a reward. So I actually did end up picking up a pre-owned figure that's been on my wish list for a long time. When I decided I was going to do this, I actually had a couple of figures in mind that I've been meaning to pick up recently, and so it just kind of came down to like what was available, and I just kept coming back to this one and thinking, this one's at the top of my list. This is the one that I really, really, really want the most, and so I am absolutely so excited to open this box. Let's just get into it. Now, listen, when it comes to shipping, usually I will pick the cheapest option available. I love a good C-mail. I'm patient. I can wait, especially when I get good prices on shipping. However, this is only my second order from Solaris Japan, and I don't know if this is like normal, but the Saver shipping, the 2 to 4 month shipping, was 3,000 yen for this box, and the EMS was only $20 more expensive, and I would get it in like 5 days. So I was like, do I want to wait 2 months or do I want to pay 20 bucks and get it in 3 days? So that's what I ended up doing. This box was 5,000 yen shipped from Kodaira. So I guess we just get into it. Get going here. She is bubble wrapped very extensively, which I definitely appreciate. So A+ on Solaris Japan for the packing. And here we have, without further ado, the Revolve 1/7 scale Rem Yukata version. I fell in love with this figure at first sight. I saw it in someone's collection on Instagram and I just fell in love with it so totally and completely. I have never actually seen ReZero. I watched the first episode and I haven't gone back to it. I haven't had the time to watch it. So to be honest, I've never seen this anime, but I really, 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 really love this figure. I think she's absolutely gorgeous, and I knew I really wanted her for my collection. So here she is. Funnily enough, she was actually 20,000 yen cheaper on Solaris Japan than she goes for on AmiAmi. Usually I find that the AmiAmi prices are better than the Solaris Japan pricing. However, for this one in particular, it actually ended up being cheaper, which is why I ended up going with Solaris. So I paid about 15,000 yen for her, which is honestly not that bad. Her retail was 14K, and this one in particular, this white yukata version, is actually an alternate color version. The real figure actually wears a blue yukata, and this one is the alternate version. So I knew I wanted the white one, and I decided, you know what, it's okay, I'll pay a little bit extra for her. But she actually ended up not being that much more expensive, which was nice. Let's just see here. I'm gonna cut the tape on this and see if we can get her out of this blister. Oh my god, she's gorgeous! Oh, this is amazing. She's so cute. Oh my god, she is gorgeous. She actually looks a lot better in person than she does in any of the promotional pictures. She just has a lot more depth to like the shading on her yukata and in her hair. Her face is a lot more vibrant. She is so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get her on the stand here. This is her base. It's just a simple blue circle. If you care about fancy bases, you probably wouldn't like this. I'm not really one that cares too much about bases unless it's like really off-putting. So for this, it isn't a problem. She does have metal foot pegs though, which I do appreciate seeing on figures that only have one foot on the base. I actually believe that this is my first Revolve figure, I think. good things to say so far. One of the things that definitely sold me on this figure was her accessories. So she does come with a really, really cute cotton candy and also a really cute little bag of goldfish, which is thematically relevant to this channel. I don't know, I was just trying to justify it any way I could because I really, really, really like this figure. And so, little bag of goldfish. Tag yourself, which one am I? I actually really, really appreciate how in detail they went with these accessories. The cotton candy is textured and airbrushed perfectly. It looks real. It looks super real, which I really appreciate, obviously. As well as the goldfish bag is really, really cute too. You can kind of see that they tried to make, I guess, the water inside the bag look realistic as well, which I think is a really, really nice touch. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. This is actually, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so the cotton candy actually required a lot of force to get in there, which is a little unfortunate, but you know, it's okay. It's whatever. I do not know what is going on with these fish. I don't know how they want me to do this. That was a little bit more difficult than maybe it needed to be, but this is Rem. She is so, so cute. I am so glad that I decided to pick this one up. She is just adorable. There's something about this one that speaks to me a lot, and so I am just super, super happy to have her for the collection. Of course, because she is pre-owned, she is a little bit dirty. I've got some like splotches on the backside of her yukata, as well as she also does have a little bit of a scrape on her hand where her nail polish used to be. A few of these flower decals are also a little bit questionable, but this is a bit of an older figure. This one released in 2018, and actually we've been seeing quite a resurgence, like a renaissance of anime figures recently. I know that's a weird way to put it, but nowadays manufacturers have way more time and attention and care and detail into these things than they did 5 years ago. So honestly, she is overall really, really cute. And it only matters if you're looking at her really, really, really closely, which I tend to not do as much when things are in my collection. So to be honest, it really doesn't bother me all that much. I think one of my favorite parts about this figure, aside from her cute accessories, is actually her floral headpiece. I think it's really, really well done, and it's super, super textured and adorable. As well, I think that the bow on the obi is absolutely adorable as well. I just really, really like that huge butt bow kind of feeling. It reminds me a lot of the Sailor Senshi from Sailor Moon. I've been really meaning to add some pre-owned figures into my collection. There are tons of figures out there that I really, really love that I want to pick up for my collection. But honestly, I have a harder time picking up pre-owned than I do pre-ordering, because pre-ordering, it's like you kind of can't back out of it and they send you the invoice and you're like, you have to pay, and I'm like, ah, okay. When it comes to pre-owned, I can like talk myself out of it easier, which I don't know. I'm kind of having a difficult time adding to my collection that way, but the intention is there. This one is gorgeous, and I have a ton of others on my wish list that I know I would absolutely love to have as well. So maybe this is the gateway. Maybe this is the start of something. But that is all I have for you today. Thanks for sitting down to catch up with me. I know it's been a hot minute, but honestly, like, I haven't really had much to talk about, I guess. Like, this is kind of like the culmination of like 4 months worth of collecting. So it's been a bit of a slow time for me, but thank you for coming back to watch this video. But of course, as always, thank you so, so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.